All right. 5 minutes is up. Let's come back to our seats. Find your classmates, your seatmates, and we're going to start divulging into how to restart and get that head.
Are you all here? Can we start? Please take your seats. We have a lot of things to do. We have a special guest speaker, and I don't want to delay her. Would you please come, Will? May I invite you to take your seat? We have a guest speaker. We want to honor her. Can we close the door back there? We have alluded to it. We have talked about it. We have said that our taste buds have been perverted. And what we want to do in this coming week, we want to revitalize those taste buds. We want to normalize these taste buds. We want to naturalize these taste buds. And to do this takes a special effort. It takes a special person that has the know-how of how to help us to do this. Please welcome Betty.
Thank you, Dr. Dill. Thank you all. I'm very glad to be here today. What I'm going to talk to you about is transformation. And when I was sitting in my seat, I thought about transformation, and the Bible says,
Yes,
oh, thank you.
I'm hard of hearing. It.
Okay. The Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And when I think about transformation, I think that's exactly what Dr. Deal is doing here today. He is renewing our minds. He's helping us grow, helping us understand how the foods that we eat is impacting our health. And so we are going to together engage in some transformation while we're in this program. But more specifically, this next week, together, we're going to work together to support each other through this health journey. So I love quotes. And so what we're doing here is we're learning about change. We're developing, we're growing. And I love the quote that says, the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And so that's what we're here to do is build the new, build our health, develop better habits. And this next quote, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. So if we are to be healthy, that requires us to make change. And Albert Einstein said the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. And so we want to be the best that we can. God created us with a purpose. And it's important for us to be at our best by taking care of the bodies that He's gifted us with. And so I just want to ask, like maybe one or two of you, what is your health goal? Can a couple people just kind of yell out for me, what is your goal health-wise? Okay, wonderful. Lower your blood pressure, lose weight. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm going to share a little bit of my journey with you. And so when we think about transforming our health, I want you to think about what does that look like for you. Just think about that and keep that in mind as you're going through this process. And I love this quote. This is a pastor. He said, you're always one decision away from a totally different life. And I'm very grateful that to God just for exposing this information to me because I too have benefited from it. Maybe like some of you, once upon a time, I had very bad eating habits. this is what my diet used to look like. It was just terrible. It was out of control. Um, I was not healthy as a result. And so this is me here. Once upon a time, I was considered morbidly obese. I weighed 256 pounds. I was pre diabetic. I had sleep apnea. And some of you may identify with this. I was always tired. I woke up tired, always tired. And so, really, I didn't know it, but that was my diet. Today, I don't experience that. And I think even if you just get that benefit from it, what an amazing um, transformation that you would experience, just not to be tired all the time. So for me, I was unhealthy, and I knew that I needed to change. I had a desire for better health. I didn't want to be diabetic, so I definitely, being pre diabetic, I knew I needed to make some changes. Also, I wanted to live a full and vibrant life. I just wasn't living the life that I felt or I knew that God wanted me to. And also, I had children, so I wanted to be around for them. And so those were my whys. Can somebody just kind of yell out to me, what's your why? Why are you here? What made you decide, okay, I need to make some changes? Okay. Want to be around for your grandchildren. Okay. Exactly. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, God wants us to love ourselves. And so it's important that we just treasure the gift of life that He's given us and do our part, because God will always do His part. But we work with Him by taking good care of our health. And so this is just my before and after picture. As I said, I was 256 pounds. That was my highest weight. So, and I'll also share how I lost weight. I lost weight. Actually, I had gastric bypass surgery. That was my initial um, journey. So what happened is I began to gain the weight back. And if you know anyone that had the surgery, that's their greatest fear, is that I will gain this weight back. And many people do. And so I was really fortunate to learn about what Dr. Deal was teaching us. And so for me, I switched to a whole food plant-based diet, and that's when I lost that excess weight that I gained back, and I've been able to keep it off. And so I really thank God for that. And so Dr. Deal has been talking about whole foods. Whole foods are transformational. And so we are going to start a program tomorrow that was developed by Dr. Deal, and it's called the JumpStart program. And so I say to you, prepare to be transformed by the JumpStart. It is an amazing tool that we will use that will jumpstart your weight loss and your health journey. So you all have a booklet, and if you go to the first section that is gray, it's a gray divider. This is the JumpStart portion of your booklet. I'm going to be going over that with you because as a group, we are going to delve into this JumpStart, and that is going to get us onto this health journey so that we can begin to lose weight. Our blood sugars can begin to normalize. Our blood pressures will normalize. You will see those changes. So Dr. Deal did the lab work, and now we're going to do our part in the journey so that we can become healthier individuals. So some of you may know this, but starting tomorrow, we're going to be doing the JumpStart together. It is a 7-day cleansing diet. So we'll start tomorrow, Monday, April 7th, through Sunday, April 23rd. So what does the JumpStart do? For one, it's going to cleanse your intestinal tract. Dr. Deal talked about that. If you have GI issues and you're not able to have regular bowel movements, that is an area you will see improve. Yes. Also, it's going to decrease fluid retention. It's going to break food addictions. To me, that is one of the major things, because if we've been eating sugar, salt, and fat, we are addicted to that. And so we're so accustomed to it. But the Jumpstart is designed to break those addictions. The next thing it's going to do for you, it's going to renew energy. It's going to provide you a taste of success because you're going to say, wow, I'm losing a little bit of weight. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm sleeping better. It's going to also reduce your food budget because if you buy a bag of chips, that's going to cost you a certain amount. But if you buy a 5 pound bag of potatoes, it's going to last you for like a week or two, and it's, a lot less expensive. And next, it's going to catapult you into a healthier lifestyle. So, how do you do this? Let's talk about what the general directions look like. So, we're going to ask you to eat 3 meals a day. Space them about 4 hours apart. And it's recommended that you eat nothing 3 hours before you go to bed. That way, in the night, you're sleeping restfully and your body isn't still digesting food. And we're also going to ask you to drink at least 8 glasses of water. Herbal tea is okay. I've heard Dr. Deal say, drink enough to float a boat. I think you said that. And so you're going to get plenty of water. And then you're also going to eat until you're satisfied. I think it's a misconception if I want to lose weight, I only can eat these very small portions. And you may have heard Dr. Deal say, he says, eat more, weigh less. So you may have heard that. The reason you can eat more and weigh less is because the foods that you're eating are less calories. Like he talked about the potato versus a potato chip. It's very low in calories. Your kale, your broccolis, those things are lower in calories. So those are going to help you to lose the weight that you desire. And you don't have to, and basically you can eat until you're satisfied. So don't think, oh, I can only eat this little small portion. Eat until you're satisfied. If you want seconds is okay. Eat until you're satisfied. Also, it's recommended that you exercise 30 to 60 minutes each day. Walking is ideal. And say if you're someone who just has not been exercising and maybe for you physically you can't do 30 minutes, do 10 minutes. And then, gradually increase it. Just as long as you're getting your body moving, that is what's important. You're developing healthy habits. It's good for your heart. It's good for so many systems in your body. Next, adequate rest is really important. And then also avoid eating between meals. And so what I come to learn from Dr. Deal is sometimes we mistake thirst for hunger. And so I found this to actually work on the Jumpstart as I'm thinking, oh, I'm hungry, but I'll go get some water and it'll help satisfy me. And if for whatever reason you just feel like I have to eat something, then eat a piece of fruit. But we recommend 3 meals a day and not snack in between. Okay, and so Dr. Deal has been laying out the negative impact on our health of animal products. And so that is how this is designed to omit some of those things that are contributing to our health problems, things such as sugar. So all sugar we're going to omit for this 7-day Jumpstart. We're also going to omit caffeine, alcohol, commercial fruit juices, and sodas. However, with caffeine, if you're someone that's really dependent on caffeine, then you're going to gradually decrease it. Okay? So keep that in mind. And then also omitting fats and oils. Dr. Deal talked a lot about oils today and how they contribute to the clogging of our arteries. So with this Jumpstart, we're going to have no oil for the week. So keep that in mind as you continue. We're going to also avoid processed and fast foods. Again, those are the foods that contribute to heart disease. They're linked to cancers, and they're contributing to diabetes and obesity. For myself, I always used to eat out, and so that contributed to me gaining 256 pounds. And so he talked about animal foods. So for this week, during this 7-day Jumpstart, you're going to omit all animal foods: fish, chicken, red meat, white meat, and also dairy and eggs. Instead of those, you're going to have non-dairy milks like soy, almond, and there's a lot of different choices out there for you. And then you're going to avoid salt. And instead of salt, you can season your foods with herbs and spices. There's a lot of things out there as well as garlic and onions. So let's see here. So day 1 and 2. So I'm going to now lay out for you what you will do on each day next week. And so again, that's in your book. So throughout the week, feel free to refer to your book so that you can, stay on track. So days 1 and 2, you're just going to eat fresh fruits and whole grains. Frozen fruits are actually okay, as well as canned, as long as it's not within sugar. So day 1 and day 2. What foods are we doing for day 1 and day 2? Okay, thank you. Fresh fruits and whole grains. So just so you know too, you can add unsweetened non-dairy milk. For example, on day 1, something that I'll make like a oatmeal, but actually I make oat groats thanks to Dr. Deal. We love oat groats in my household now. So I'll put oat groats in a bowl, then I'll put some non-dairy milk, and then I put in all my fruit. I usually will do like strawberries, blueberries, and bananas. And just so you know, bananas is a perfect sweetener for oatmeal. I used to love it. When I was younger, I put butter and sugar in it. I no longer do that. But if you put bananas, it's a perfect sweetener for oatmeal. And then I make the oatmeal up. Then I put in some ground flax seeds and chia. So just so you know, those things are okay. The flax, the chia, as well as the hemp seeds. And the reason those are so important is they are rich in protein. They also have fiber, and then they're the omega-3s. So if you're a person who have eaten salmon in the past, people will say, oh, salmon is good for you. It's full of omega-3s. Well, from these seeds, that's where I get my omega-3. Yeah, so I get those from there instead of eating salmon. And so I just wanted to also just provide you with a visual so that you can see the plant-based milks. And Silk is just one brand. There's other brands out there. And then there's the flaxseed. And you want to get the flaxseed meal, or you want to get ground flax seeds. Otherwise, they just go straight through. Yes. Which one? The flax? Okay. Yeah, I get those two. Yes, you know what? If you go to Target, I like to buy it at Target. If you go to the section where they sell flour, all the baking stuff, it's in there. Yeah, and I go to Target for that because if you go to the regular grocery store, like at Albertsons, it's like 5 something, but at Target it's 3 something. So I just save a few dollars. You're welcome. Yes. 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 Say if that's what your body kind of requires. If you feel like, oh, I think I want 2 cups of oatmeal, then it's perfectly fine. Yes. 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 The principle is that our whole foods are less in calories. So yes, you can. You can. Yeah, eat till you're satisfied. If that's what you feel like you need to be satisfied, then fine. Yes, because everybody's a little bit different. You may be someone who might say, well, I can't eat that much. So good. Follow what your body. Yes, yes, yes. And so here is just a list of fruits for day 1 and day 2. Whatever fruit you like is okay, as long as it's not made in sugar. So that's on page 12 of your book. Feel free to enjoy your favorites. And if there's some you've always wanted to try that maybe you haven't, feel free to try those as well. And then, so day 1 and day 2 is fruit and whole grains. So here's a list of whole grains. You see many of them that look familiar, things like old-fashioned oats, or oat groats, brown rice, millets, quinoa. There's plenty here, and I've put the gluten-free ones with the asterisk. So if that's an issue for you, it just kind of lets you know which ones are gluten-free. Okay, so again, remind us, what's day 1 and day 2? Fruit and whole grain. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So day 3, For myself, by the time I get to day 3, I am ecstatic because now I'm wanting something different. You just had 2 days of just fruits and whole grains. You're clearing your palate so that you can learn how to eat healthier. That's the whole point of this. So by day 3, I am like, give me some vegetables. So that day, you're going to begin to add vegetables, beans, and you can add bread. But it's recommended, we do have a certain bread that we recommend that I'll go over in a moment. So we don't want just any bread. We don't want Wonder White bread because it's not healthy. Okay. So day 3, what things are we adding? Great, great, great. Okay. And so again, just like with the fruit, you're going to have your favorite vegetables. For me, my favorite vegetables actually happens to be potatoes. I also love broccoli, and so have your favorites. But eat like a diverse group of food. Also, I love bell peppers and celery. So, there's a lot of options out there for you. Eat your favorites. And then in addition to vegetables, we're going to have beans. Enjoy beans. They are one of the most nutritious foods that we have available to us. They are very high in fiber, they're high in protein, they're an excellent source of many vitamins and nutrients. So we're going to have beans. And so in terms of bread, it is recommended that you have Ezekiel 4:9 bread that's low in sodium. I'll ask Dr. Deal. I know that Dave's Killer Bread does have a sprouted bread now. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a good bread, except it's very high in sodium, the salt.
Okay,
So
okay,
if you have high blood pressure problem, be careful. If you don't have, you probably can get away with it. It's a fairly good bread.
okay. Thank you, Dr. Deal. And so now let's focus on anyone that may be diabetic. So if you are diabetic, you're going to do things a little bit differently. You, instead of starting on days 1 and 2, you're going to skip to day 3. So if you're someone who's diabetic or you're pre-diabetic, you're going to do things slightly different. So tomorrow, instead of having whole grains and fruits, you are going to skip to day 3 where you'll have whole grains, fruits, but you'll also have veggies, you'll have beans, and you can have bread. And so this gives you a few ideas. Add 1/4 a cup of walnuts or almonds to your breakfast, and you're also going to add a tablespoon of flaxseed meal. In addition, you're going to have beans at breakfast and lunch and possibly dinner. And we recommend your fruit to include berries, apples, pears, apricots, and peaches. Those are a little bit lower on the glycemic index, and so those are going to be the foods that you're going to eat. Okay. Okay, and then day 3. This is just a sample because I know you had asked about serving sizes. This gives you an idea. Again, you're not going to skimp on your meal. You don't have to because these are all low in fat, low in calories, low in those unhealthy sugars and things that we all are accustomed to eating at times. So this is what a sample looks like in day 3. It's plenty of food, whole grain cereal. It has some fresh fruit, 1 to 2 kinds, plus 2 slices of whole wheat bread, or even bread with mashed bananas on it. So you see, that's plenty of food. I think for me, I would be so satisfied to eat all of that. So it's plenty of food. It's not a starvation diet that we think of when we think of a diet. And these are just some sample foods here that I just kind of put together. Um, the first one here, that's a sweet potato. It has like berries. It has a pomegranate. Just some ideas for you. The second one is quinoa with some fruit and vegetables in it. Some people like beans and rice for breakfast. So it's just all kinds of things for you. And the one right in the middle on the bottom, that's actually my oatmeal that I make in the morning. I just fill it with fruit, and then I put some seeds like chia and flax seeds in it. So there's many options. Sometimes we think, oh, we're supposed to stop eating our animal products. Now what will we eat? There's so much out there. God has given us a gift of all these great foods that are natural foods that are healthy for our bodies. Okay. And then next is a sample lunch, but my clicker is having, there it goes. Okay. And so here's some samples like of a lunch on day 3. We have a salad. We can have some lima beans, some peas, a baked potato, but you notice that there's no cheese or anything like that on it. We have chives, we have salsa, chili, and even lentil soup. So we can do things a little bit different. We just have to be creative. I think for myself, that's how I have learned to live on this particular way of eating. I've been eating like this since January 1st, 2020, but actually in 2019, that's when I was beginning to transition. I wanted to be healthier, and so I'm so grateful for this way of eating. I don't miss meat. It's just something that I've just decided for myself. This is the way I'm going to eat. I remember once I heard a sermon about Daniel. You may be familiar with the Daniel fast. Basically, this is how Daniel ate. And I remember at one point someone said Daniel purposed in his heart. Basically, he made a decision, and that's what we have to do. We have to make a decision that we want to be healthy, even if it means sacrificing some of those things that we used to like to eat. Okay, and then I also just put in some slides of possible things you can have for lunch. These are just things that I make. Just a bowl of fruit there. In the middle, that's actually quinoa topped with onions, bell peppers, and celery. You'll see I put that in everything. Just a potato bowl at the bottom here, black eyed peas. And this at the top I call a vegetable rich chili. Basically, it's kidney beans with, it's a chili with bell peppers, onions, and it's just really something that I love. It's a lot like my grandmother used to make when I was a kid, except she would put ground beef in it. So I just eliminate that. Yes. You actually make those dishes? Yeah, except the one at the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, all those I made. Yeah. And when people know me, I love potatoes. So you'll see this one at the bottom. It is actually if I can do this little thingy. The one at the bottom, it's a potato bowl. It has like onions, bell pepper, celery, and maybe some other vegetables, some squash. I just absolutely love that. So, make what you like. We all have stuff we really like. I'm sorry, I'll come to you next, Phyllis. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Great question. I remember one year we went on a cruise and I was actually able to lose weight on the cruise. Yes, it's a miracle to lose weight on a cruise. But if you make the right choices, that will help you. So think about the list of foods that we give you. So you guys are going to have to be creative and figure out, okay, where can we get healthier meals? Like you may have to choose healthier restaurants. If they have a refrigerator, maybe a part of your meal can be things that bring or go to the grocery store and get. I'm not saying you can't eat out, but figure out how can we have these healthier foods while we're traveling. It's a challenge, but it can be done. Yeah, you can do it. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Yes, Dr. Dill.
A nice way to do it is to approach the person in charge of the restaurant and say, I don't know if you can help me. You know what they're going to do? Why don't you try me? He's already on your side. And you say, I don't know if you can help me. I'm on a special doctor's program. You're not crazy. It's that doctor that put you on that program. Remember? See, and you say, let's vegetables and for day 3 is vegetables and
It's beans and bread.
just say he doesn't want me to have any cholesterol. And he looks at it and say, "What does that mean?" I said, "Well, no meat." "Oh, we have chicken." No. The doctor said if it has eyes, I shouldn't eat it. So you make it sort of a fun type thing instead of being, and so and you come up with some ideas, and then you say, and my doctor also wants me to have a little bit less fat, no fats and no other sugar. And sometimes that restaurant person may come to say to you, "Wow, you have a tough doctor. Why don't you change doctors?" So, then you're winning, right? You figure something out.
Thank you, Dr. Dill. Phyllis, you had a question?
In the middle, it looks like green. It looks like some green greens or something.
Oh, the one at the bottom?
Yeah, but
That's a mushroom soup.
you made it?
No, I didn't. I think Ruth in our health group made that.
Really good.
Yeah.
I want to tell JC, when I used to stay at the hotel, I used to always ask for a refrigerator because I'm a diabetic, and they'll give you a free refrigerator. They're not supposed to charge you. And I bring my stuff in there.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Oh, you.
Have any salt?
Okay, this is what I do. My sister and I, we live together, and so we meal prep every Sunday. So what we do is we peel the potatoes and we dice them, and then we put them in a pot and we boil them. And then I just put them in a big a big bowl, and put them in the refrigerator. So when I want to cook, I just take the potatoes. You can put like very light water in the bottom of the pan to warm them up, and then throw in the vegetables that you want. We usually chop up our favorite vegetables, the bell peppers, onions, and celery, and I throw those in, and then I throw in some squash, and I just kind of stir them up, and then that's my meal. It's really simple. It's really simple.
You don't use salt?
No
what
salt.
do
Yeah.
you put on
For
it?
this, actually, let me just say, for the JumpStart, we eliminate the salt.
Sugar and oil.
Yes, salt, sugar, and oil. But during regular times, we will use a little bit of salt. Yes, and Dr. Deal.
Yeah. Your hardest challenge probably would be no salt. That's tough.
Yeah.
What you can do, you can go and get some Mrs. Dash. You know Mrs. Dash? Mrs. Dash comes in a yellow top. She's blonde. Comes with a red. She's a redhead. She comes in different colors, but it's always no salt, and then you're okay, and you won't miss it quite so much.
Yeah. And
But
you know,
in general, it's the hardest thing to adjust to leave the salt out. But that's why you do it for 6 or 7 days, and then you're okay.
yes, what'll happen is when you're doing the JumpStart, by the end, your body becomes very sensitive to salt. Like me, I'm very guilty. This is not a real word, but I used to be a saltaholic. Like my kids would complain because even before I taste the food, I salt it. So, I used to love salt. So, like Dr. Deal said, is that it'll be maybe the hardest, but it'll be beneficial for your blood pressure, for your body. You'll see, swelling and things like that go down. So,
Lemon juice is probably good too, maybe a little bit.
yes. Right. You can use different, right, substitutes for salt. Yes. And one of the things I want to say is like, when you think about sauteing, sometimes we saute our food, we put a little bit of oil in. What you can do instead is you could use water to saute, or you can use vegetable broth. We often use vegetable broth in my home. We'll just put a little bit in the pan, then we throw in our onions and our garlic and saute it in that. Because again, oil is full of calories and, clogs up the arteries. So wherever you can reduce it, that is important. And I'm talking post JumpStart. Yes?
And with the vegetable broth, you have to watch out because some
The
of that
salt.
is high in sodium.
True.
So you have to get the one that's low sodium or no sodium.
Yes, correct. Thank you, old school. You know what? I did that in the Instapot. If you don't have an Instapot, it's like one of God's greatest creations. It is so good because it's so convenient. Like for me, I don't even have to soak them to make them. And they cook in about an hour or so, and you don't have to watch them. It's just really a perfect device. Yeah. So yeah, if you remind me, I can give you the recipe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is really good. And so, so we've just gone over day 3, and these are just some ideas for meals for day 3. Let's see. I don't know why it's not working. So the next, oh, possible, yeah. The next thing is day 3, our sample dinner. Let's see, and there it goes. And so day 3, dinner is going to be lighter than the other meals, simply because we're winding down for the day. And so just something pretty simple. It can be a stew like this says, some crackers, or maybe even a salad plate. And then I also have some sample dinner foods. Let's see. Maybe I don't know if I'm there it goes. So I have some sample dinner foods, and these are most of these are mine, except the one at the bottom and the one at the very top. That's actually Brussels sprouts with some sweet potatoes. That was made by Cheryl. That's a part of our health group. And so this is just some ideas for you. And just also to let you know, it's not that the way that we are, asking you to eat, it's not boring, it's not dull. There's a lot of choices for you. Yes, correct. You're going to do that for days 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because once we get to day 4, there's a couple new things that you can add. And so I would say for you to take your book along with you if you need to, like if you're going to work. But also, real quick, what I do is I plan for work. I always pack a good, healthy breakfast and lunch so that I can control what I eat during the day. And so all of that is just very important. So day 4, our sample breakfast. Day 4, you're going to eat the same thing you ate on a day 3: vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, and bread. However, you can also add corn. So that's the difference. So pretty much, and then also for dinner, you can add avocado. So add about a fourth of an avocado. The thing is, avocados are a little bit high in fat, and so you don't want to overdo it, especially if your goal is to lose weight. Now, I know there's a couple people in the group who are trying to gain weight. You don't have to really limit it as much, you know, for those people who are trying to gain some weight. But for us that are trying to lose, avocados are healthy, just don't overdo it. And so, okay, and so let's see. So the purpose of the Jumpstart is to help you develop a healthy lifestyle and to promote optimal health. And Dr. Dill has laid that out for us very well, why we are on this journey, because of the way that we have eaten has made us sick. It's made us overweight, obese, diabetic, develop heart disease. And so that's why this 7-day cleansing program is taking place, so that once we're done, we will be able to enter into an ongoing healthy diet. And so let's see. Okay. And so the Jumpstart is actually equals a new beginning. And so from there, what we will do is we will enter into what Dr. Deal refers to as the optimal diet. And we will go over that more on April 20th. And so let me explain. Okay. So the optimal diet, these are the principles of the optimal diet. We're going to eat less oil. So after the 7 days are up, we are going to focus on being a healthier version of ourselves. That will be foods with less oils, less sugars, foods that don't contain cholesterol, foods such as meat, eggs, and dairy. We're going to be eating less of those. less salt, where we will avoid alcohol and caffeine. And so the more you eliminate those things from your diet, the healthier you will be. Some people think, well, eliminating those 100%, I don't know about that. But the more you eliminate, the healthier you will be. It's all about what your goals are. If you are wanting to reach your goals, you will focus more on eliminating those and adding those whole grains, those beans, those fruits, vegetables, water, and making sure you're getting in a wholesome breakfast. Okay. And then the optimal diet. I just wanted to throw in some foods there for you to see that you can do many different things with your diet. Like I mentioned before, that my sister and I meal prep. What we do is we make a big pot of brown rice, a big pot of beans, and a pot of potatoes. And throughout the week, we just mix it up. If we want like to make a burrito, we can make a burrito with the beans and rice and all the vegetables and things. If we wanted to make like a pita sandwich or something like that, or if we just want to make a rice bowl, we do that. So there's so many options that are out there, and God has gifted us with plenty of food to enjoy. Right. Okay. Let me go back. And so, why eat like this? Eating like this will help reduce inflammation. It will lower our risk of type 2 diabetes. It will improve our kidney function, reduce our risk of heart disease, lower our bad cholesterol, reduce cognitive impairment, improve our gut health, reduce risk of certain cancers, improve our athletic performance, and reduce arthritis pain. And I don't know how many of you seen the movie Game Changers before. A lot of athletes are eating this way because they find that it reduces the inflammation and they're able to perform better than their counterparts. So if you have Netflix, I highly recommend it. It's a great documentary, and it helps you understand why you want to eat a whole food, plant-based diet. Okay, so in your book, page 14, there's recipes, tips, and suggestions. So I recommend that you review those. Okay, and so I alluded to this a moment ago. So this change is not easy. And so what we have for you is we have support to assist you through. So we have a meeting on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday of next week on Zoom, where we will be checking in with each other. We'll be there to support, to encourage, and help you. A portion of it is also education. But my colleague, Vernita, she's not here today, but she will be on the Zoom throughout the week. Together, that's what we do. We support people who are trying to get healthy. And so we do that via Zoom. We have a great group of people that meet regularly. And so we'd love for you guys to join us. It's just a wonderful group of people. And it's just an amazing experience for me. She and I actually started the group because we were supporting each other to be healthier. And we just thought, oh, let's open this up to other people. And that's how it came about. And I just love this quote: the greatest gift you can give your family and the world is a healthy you. So I celebrate that we're doing this together, that we're all getting healthier together. And on this road to good health, remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Those are not my words. Those are the words straight out of God's book. You can do it. So don't be discouraged. And we're here to support you through that. Yes.
Some of the participants here, they wanted to get on your group meet, and they wanted to know about your first and third Thursday, your Zoom meetings.
Yes.
I told them you would be here.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So Phyllis is one of our. She's always passing on the word. So you'll be able to get that information in a moment. So Dr. Deal often says, "Healthy by choice, not by chance." All of us are here for some reason. We won't get there unless we make a choice and then we take the steps to get healthy. So moving towards a whole food plant-based diet is a way to improve your health and your quality of life. Okay, and so This is our group. It's called Healthy Road Lifestyle. We meet the first and third Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. And the group provides both education. It also provides support. So when you're making a change like this, it's not easy. But when you get on something like our group me, and you see another person is struggling, and we can give you some answers and some support and encouragement, it helps you to go back and do what you need to do. And so I'm going to go back a couple of slides related to the JumpStart support. This is in your book. And so feel free to take a picture of this if you need. It has the meeting ID and the passcode. We would love for you to join us as we have this group this week. So again, that'll be Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And we have people that just heard about our group, and we have a couple people in Florida, we have someone from New Jersey, so people from all the different parts of the country are on the group, and it's just a wonderful group of people. Okay, so I'm going to be wrapping up. And so this is just some of our group members as well. They have walks. We try to do different activities. That a lot of that was shut down because of COVID, but we have a group that walks in Crafton Hills College, and we plan to do some 5Ks soon. So there's other activities that we as a group try to do. And so I wanted to also lastly close out and invite you to an event our group is holding on May 4th at 7 o'clock. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, he's a renowned physician. He has helped people to reverse heart disease. That in and of itself is extraordinary. He's reversed it through lifestyle medicine. And so he's going to be joining us. I don't know if you've heard of Chef AJ, but she's written books. She has a great shows on YouTube and a great website as well. She's going to be hosting it. I need to get those meeting IDs to you. We will provide that for you as well. I hope to have those by tomorrow. And if you join us, we will also show this again tomorrow, but I hope to have that information. And so let's see. Yes. We feel so honored that he's going to be joining us. So I thank you all for your time. Thank you for being such a great audience. Is there any more questions that I can answer for you? Okay. You guys have been great. Oh, yes. You know what? Peanut butter is okay, but not during this 6-week period. 6-day period. Actually, 7-day period. 7-day period. Not during the 7 days, but after that, you can add it back into your diet. But what you may want to do is make sure that there's no partially hydrogenated oils in it. So you want to look at the ingredients too.
And you also want to make sure it doesn't have salt, because I didn't see that on the bottle that I got. I didn't pay attention to it on the jar that I had from Trader Joe's. It didn't have anything but the peanut, but it did have salt in it. So that's just something to be mindful of when you read the label.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Yes.
I know almond butter is good too.
Mm-hmm.
Almond butter.
Yes.
But in addition to that, I was just going to ask, how long is the entire program, and would you recommend that we stick to the 7-day diet lifestyle more or less throughout the entire program?
That's what I've done.
Like so it's two questions. How long is the entire program? And after we're done with the JumpStart, should we more or less stick to that type of diet throughout the entire program?
What I recommend for best results, so days 4 through 7, that's where you can have most foods, because that's where you will have your beans, your greens, your beans, vegetables, fruits. You'll have whole grains, and then you'll have bread. And then you can also have corn and avocado. If you want your best results, that would be a good idea to continue to stick to that. I think the longer you can, the better. Like Dr. Dill says, there's the optimal diet right after the 7 days if you choose to put in a little bit of oil. But again, for best results, you want to stick to like days. I would say day 7, because I just kind of in my mind I said to myself, I'm on the day 7 diet. I just called it that for myself, and so I stick to that. Because again, it'll help me maintain my goals. When I started to gain my weight back, it was when I switched to this way of eating that I began to lose that weight again that I had gained back, and I've been able to maintain it. So I think for best results, yes, for best results. You'll find that you feel better. I think you look great, but I think, you'll feel better. It'll help improve your health overall.
All right, so let's give
Thank
another
you.
hand for Betty. So, for those of you who don't know, Betty is actually a licensed social worker. She works at Kaiser.
Actually, I work for the county.
County.
Renita works for Kaiser.
Renita works for Kaiser. She works for the San Bernardino
Bernardino,
County.
uh-huh,
And so she's giving her time to share this information, giving her experience, and guiding us in all of this. So, thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, so who's motivated? I'm motivated. For those of you who don't know yet, we are on our social medias. So we have our Instagram account, so you can snap a picture of that so that you can follow us there for updates. We have Facebook as well and YouTube. So all the lectures that we have, every program that we have is being live streamed and uploaded on our socials. So if you've missed it or you have family who who can benefit from this, you can connect with us online. And then since we're starting our Jumpstart, you can share. If you're on Instagram, we can repost. We can be in this together. I know we're in a new generation of social media. So tag us, and then we will be in this program together again. Next Saturday is our next meeting. So we actually have a bonus. We have a doctor who is coming from Loma Linda University as well, public health associate professor in Loma Linda, who will be coming at 10 a.m. So originally our meeting will be at 2, but he will be speaking in the morning as well. So we want to invite you guys to come at that time. If you are free in the morning, 10 o'clock, please join us in the Hawaiian Gardens location. So that's the address if you still are unsure, in Hawaiian Gardens. If you can't come in the morning, join us at 2 p.m. in the afternoon to continue with our lectures. No, 2 o'clock will be Dr. Dio. So we also, I believe, have our cooking demo as well next weekend. Yes, Saturday. Okay, so we're good. See you guys next weekend, Saturday, and we'll see you on Zoom. Zoom tomorrow at 7 to 8 p.m. Jumpstart tomorrow starts. So go home, get your groceries, get ready, and prepare for a new week. Thank you guys. See you on Zoom.